Hi guys, Andy here from the Art of Bonsai. Just going to do a quick 5-minute video for you on my Japanese larch. I got 10 of these last year, and one of them came and it was a double trunk. Don't know whether you can see that there, but it's got some nice root system going on, and it's got I put a bend in it last year. Unfortunately, the wire dug in a bit. I wasn't quite expecting the growth rate of the larch. It was really quite quick. So there's some scar marks in here. But on this one here, I am going to do some big major trunk chops, because obviously the top half I'm not going to want at all, and after it biting in last year, I've decided to try and go another direction with it, which is obviously not using wire and just using chops to make your bends and etc. So yeah, well, so let's get to it. I suppose I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna chop this, and we'll go from there. I've got some another two that I'm gonna deal with as well today. They need some chopping, so let's get to it and I'll show you where I'm gonna chop this. Alright guys, so we've got the trunk coming up here. I know this branch here is alive, and a couple of these other little ones are alive. I'm just going to leave them for now. I'm not going to touch them at all. But as you come up the trunk, you can see just here where this branch is, and this second branch here. Number one, these branches are just too close. And number two, it's got a lovely bend there, and then this branch comes out, and that's got a nice bend that way. So I'm going to leave this one on, and I'm going to chop it just on this bite line here. So there we go. So as you can see, that's quite a big chunk I've taken off there. This was pretty much all of last year's growth. So you can see how much it grew in 1 year. That's a lot of growth in 1 year. So that's that one gone. Let's throw that on the floor. So this second branch here, I'm unsure at the moment where to cut it. I think I should trim it about here, because I really like this curve here, and at a later date I could always chop it back down. And assuming that I leave this one or this one as the leader, or one of these two lower ones, I can always cut it down again in the spring next year. So, and then obviously this big branch here I'll keep as a sacrificial branch, and that can feed the girth of the tree next year, and keeping all these inside ones that have developed, even though they're coming out from the top, I'll keep them for now, just for the sake of it, just for the fact that they're there. I'll leave them there to grow on the tree next year. So I think the decision's been made, because I do like that bend there, that I'm going to chop it around this area here. So if I cut it down about here, I can always chop off more next year. And there's the second cut. As you can see, that bend is lovely. There's a really nice bend, and if it bends over this way or maybe that way, I might create another really nice bend. Nearer the spring, I'll make a bit more branch selection and maybe take off one or two of these that I don't need. I could shorten some of them back already. In fact, I think I might do. I might shorten this one here. I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to leave that one. Likewise, I'm going to leave this one as a sacrificial. So guys, there's the first trunk chop of my twin trunk larch. First initial chop, and we'll see how this grows then next year. I'll keep you informed next year and I'll see how this one grows. I quite like this one. This one's quite cool. So I'm going to get to my other ones now. I'll show you them. As you can see, I've got a little friend. This is Mo, and we still can't work out whether she's pregnant or not. I've literally just taken her to the vet this morning. He's had a little feel around, but he can't tell whether she's pregnant. Don't know why. Basically, he said he's got no sonogram. The only way to know whether she's pregnant is by a sonogram, which is charging me 150 quid. But apparently there's no way of telling whether a cat's pregnant until they obviously start showing all the signs. But she's showing all the signs, like big nipples, or bigger nipples, a big belly, and last night meowing all the time. So we don't know. So we've had her 36 days, and we've got to wait another 30 days to find out whether she's going to give birth. So it might be a nice surprise for me one day, or in 30 days. But anyway, let's get back to the trees. This is the second of the 10 that I bought. So, or third, and there's 3 of them now, though you just saw the one. Now, the same happened here. The why I bit into it. I kind of like this bend here, but it's a bit too long. It's a bit too long here, and it's just quite not quite doing it for me. So what I may do is chop. What I will do is, as you can see, obviously the bend's not that nice. I'm going to chop that about here, I think, and then one of these will cut. That will become the leader next year, and I'll bend that round in another way. It's already bending down, so hopefully it will stay bending down, but I doubt it. So let's chop that one quickly. Just got a bit closer to the other branch there. So that's that one gone. And then we've got this other one here, which is a bit of a beast, really. It's got a nice, ooh, it's got a nice little nabari coming up here. Oh, don't know whether that's frozen or what that is, whether that's a frozen bit of stone or what. I've just got these from the outside, and it's been snowing the last couple of days, so I'm going to look after these now. I've chopped them. I'll keep them inside for a couple of days. Let it heal over. Put some cut paste on these. Let it heal over and see what happens. This is my a knife I made 1 year. Some eagle carvings, and this is deer
I found a few places near you. The first one is Little Collins de Piep. It is Tweelingstraat 19F, Amsterdam.
That's my Google
The
going
second
off.
one is Little and Collins Rugs at 204 Oxo Tower Wharf, Bargehouse Street.
Okay, Google, stop.
The third one is Collins at Bilderdijkstraat 100.
I bet that goes off again in a minute. Alright, back to it. So this is my skein do that I made a few years ago. It's got eagle carvings made of deer antler, and this is made of Damascus metal, which is actually gone a real funny colour, but I paid quite a lot of money for this Damascus blade, and it wasn't that good after all. But yeah, so there's my little knife I use for digging out things. I like to have a little point if I need it, and yeah, it's my blade that I made. Right, so getting back to the tree. I've got this branch here that I think died last year, this branch, but I'm going to keep it anyway just in case it did survive, because I quite like that little fork coming out there. I could do it, just change my mind later on, but and then you kind of get above it and there's not too much going on. It's just growing straight. You've got this big branch here which is really big and thick, I don't like at all. Got this one here that then comes down towards you, which could be shaped into something. Or you've got this one here, which again comes towards you. And then as you turn it around, you've got 1, 2, 3, and this one here, which is quite a good position for bending upwards. Likewise, this one can give it some taper backwards. So, and that will leave me with this branch here as well, and plenty to play with down the bottom. Do you know what? I'm going to make a major decision, and I don't want that one, and I don't want this one, and I've got the weaker branches below them, but they won't be weak for very long. So I'm going to chop it around here, around this mark here, and this one here will become the leader. There we go, and that's all that gone. I'm going to tidy up the cuts and put some cut paste on this. I won't do that now because that's just boring for you, but I would like that to be unfrozen so I could see that more, but I'll have to wait for that. So there we go, there's some major chops in my 3 larch trees, my twin trunk and my two separate ones. Hopefully they'll do well this year. I've given them a good feed in the springtime. Hopefully they'll do really well. and I won't touch them now. I'll just let them grow next year, you know, and then think about ramification maybe the year after that, or a few more chops, and go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please keep your ears out. Or please, if you know anything about cats and them being pregnant, let me know why the vet can't tell me whether she's pregnant or not, because it's completely bizarre to me and my wife, and we just don't understand it, why he can't tell whether she's pregnant or not. And when we look at photos on YouTube, or photos not on YouTube, on the internet, it's always that they're quite big after 30 days. So, and she's big, but she's not that big. And you know, some of the photos are like massive cats with big nipples, and the nipples are hanging down here like this, and we don't see any signs of that. But yeah, please let me know if you know anything about it, or why they can't tell me. So thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Ta.